Hi, I'm Rudy Maxa, ready for some good times on another of our special theme programs. This time we're visiting spots I think are especially entertaining. Some are relaxing, some exhilarating, and some pretty darn challenging. Next up, it's Europe just for fun on Smart Travels.
Smart Travels is a grand tour of the old world, the people, places, sights, and distinctly European flavors. Our host is travel writer and columnist Rudy Maxa, Public Radio's original savvy traveler. Now, tips, trips, and secret places on Smart Travels.
Most foreign travelers still come to Europe looking for some kind of contact with its rich culture. Great museums, ancient ruins, soaring cathedrals, and unique traditions. But as our world shrinks and the old once-in-a-lifetime trip morphs into several return visits, many people are on the lookout for another dimension to that trip to Europe. We've got some travelers now who just want to have fun. They're ready for absolute R&R, sort of let's get away from it all kind of thing. Others are not quite so desperate. They're just looking for a way to break up the serious sightseeing.
I, for one, have found myself in both modes, sometimes looking for total escape and other times just needing a little change of pace. This time, we're putting together some of my just-for-fun personal picks. Here's what's worked for me. I'm betting you'll find something in here that will fill the bill for you.
Up, and way at the top of my list for a major half-day escape is, yes, that great lift you get from hot air ballooning. Floating above the earth in an open basket is an unforgettable experience, totally different from sitting in an airplane. Now, these rides can be found all over Europe, but for us, France was perfect. This nation, after all, was the birthplace of hot air ballooning, and thus of aviation. It was in 1783 that the Montgolfier brothers first carried off a series of successful hot air balloon ascents. The first balloon went up empty. The next experiment had on board a duck, a rooster, and a sheep. Louis had wanted to send up a couple of convicts sentenced to death. He was convinced the atmosphere up there would prove poisonous. But French scientists were outraged that convicts might be the first men to fly. Finally, as Louis XVI and his American guest Benjamin Franklin watched, two men were carried aloft. So it was that a French scientist, Jean-François Pilatre de Rosier, and an infantry major, the Marquis François Darlan, became the first men to fly and to live to tell about it.
Now, if you prefer to keep your feet on the ground, hiking is just the ticket. Virtually every country in Europe offers an opportunity to take a long walk.
The range of opportunity is broad, very broad. We've taken walks in the English countryside, along the Italian Riviera, on windy beaches in Sweden, in city parks, the list goes on and on. For clearing your head and getting your blood flowing, a walk is easy to slip into almost any itinerary. But for some, the hike is the itinerary, and in Europe, it's also civilized. In Britain, you can hike from village to village, staying in quaint B&Bs. Many places on the continent offer similar possibilities. It's no surprise that serious hikers flock to the high mountains, the Swiss Alps, and my favorite, the Italian Dolomites.
In the winter, do people live here?
Oh yeah, no, people will spend the night here in the winter.
Limestone uplifting and erosion have created endless visual extravaganzas. Well-marked trails range from super easy family saunters to razor-thin trails along sawtooth ridges. Places such as Cortina d'Ampezza are crowded with skiers in the winter, but in summer, hikers find lightly traveled trails and plenty of hotel rooms. Lifts whisk you up and down to give you plenty of choices. Imagine topping such a day off with a night in a refugio, a rustic mountaintop lodge right up in the clouds. You'll find plenty of hiking books to help plan your trip, and every local tourist office is full of details on trails. With so much information, you can put together your own hikes, or you can hire a guide, or even join an organized group.
Part of the adventure of driving in Europe is getting from here to there. Now, driving on the wrong side of the road in England is considered high adventure by some, but it's really easy to get used to. I think it's a lot of fun.
If driving is part of your fun, well, by all means, try it throughout the European countryside. It's a great way to break away from the big cities and poke into out-of-the-way places. And what about us Americans who often feel train-deprived? Well, the rails in Europe offer the perfect cure. They can be much more than just a means to an end. Then there's cycling. Bikes are lots of fun. And so are the river cruises, down the Rhine or the Danube. And oh yeah, there are the canals, Amsterdam, Bruges, Burgundy, and the queen of them all, of course, Venice. A gondola ride here is not to be overrated, particularly if you share it with a loved one. Introducing my daughter Sarah to Venice is one of the high points of my travels. Floating along peaceful back canals, watching Venice's rich history pass by, catching snatches of music, imagining centuries of intrigue and romance. It's all a little dreamlike. And with treasured family members, it's an experience to be relived over the course of many future get-togethers.
On Smart Travels, you've seen me enjoying the local libations. Checking out the variations of liquid refreshments from country to country is definitely part of the fun. Here in the UK, it's time for tea.
Thank you, Sonia.
An English tea can be leisurely and elegant, or just a quick cuppa. Either way, it's hard to get a bad cup of tea in the British Isles. Over on the continent, coffee, with its roots in Turkey, dominates. Each country prefers a slightly different roast, but every city abounds with multiple choices. Kaffee mit Schlag, or whipped cream, in Vienna. Cappuccino in an elegant cafe in Padua. A quick espresso at a stand-up bar in Rome. And then, of course, there's the wine tasting. Now, there's a quest. How to discover a favorite? Is it a Burgundy? A Brunello? A Riesling?
It's beautiful.
Decisions. What's a poor guy to do?
Very, very nice.
Wine is the big tradition in Southern Europe, but the Scandinavians prefer their schnapps.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah,
With
you
the
do taste
salmon.
it. Oh, yeah.
Maybe the most unique place I've ever sampled the fare was in the ice bar at the Nordic Sea Hotel in downtown Stockholm. Now here's something you don't run into every day. All this for a shot of vodka. Open all year, the ice bar's temperature always hovers around freezing. Everything's made out of ice, from the glasses you drink out of, to the counters you lean on, to the walls all around you. This is a place where breaking the ice takes on a whole new meaning.
You know, as a journalist, I'm always on the lookout for new stories while traveling. It's my job. Luckily for me, it's a lot of fun too. My guess is that discovery is a big part of why we all travel. We want to learn something new. We want to be surprised.
Bang, a bang, a rattle-ding bang.
I have to say, I was surprised at my newfound fascination with puppets. I had assumed puppet shows were just for kids, but in the course of shooting this series, I've discovered they're a kind of entertainment that's just plain fun.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, hey, my cap, please. Quick, my cap. Thank you. Oh, no.
You never know when you might stumble onto a little show, remnants of bygone days when traveling troupes provided the primary theatrical experience in small towns all over Europe. But cities turned out loyal audiences as well. The Toon Puppet Theatre in Brussels continues that tradition today.
You must remember that in the 19th century, people here in little, small, blind alleys like here lived sometimes 5 or 6 or more in one room. They were very happy to go to the show, to spend the evening out of their situation, you see.
Oh! Oh! I die with jerks and jolts. Oh, I think it's that, yes. We will look at them. Yes, it's really that, I think.
A fun look at puppet history is in the Museum of Marionette in Palermo. Elaborate marionettes dating from the 16th century recall a rich past when puppet theaters ruled in Sicily. They dramatize tales of unrequited love and of battles between Christian knights and Arab armies. Stories that particularly resonated in Sicily, where Christian and Islamic forces once wrestled for control. The serialized dramas held their small-town audiences enthralled night after night, much as modern soap operas entertain today's television audiences. The 3-foot-high, richly adorned characters speak to a very rich past. Puppet aficionados point to a long history, stretching back 4,000 years to Asia.
The
International Museum of the Marionette in Charleville, France, honors that past. Puppet theater was common, too, in ancient Greece and Rome, and survived the Middle Ages with wandering troupes of entertainers. Today's puppeteers follow in these traditions, but they're also dedicated innovators.
Well, tell me. Goink, 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 goink. In my ear.
And if you think this is all child's play, think again.
It's Charles de Gonzague.
Students and apprentices take years to perfect their craft.
And this is for a head, to move the head.
Right. And this is
This is for the leg,
the legs.
the legs. But I prefer use the legs like this.
Just using your fingers on the strings, right?
So,
Thank you very much for showing us
Thank you.
how you use your marionette.
thank you.
I've found a great antidote for sightseeing overload at several of the big tourist draws in England. If you've ever felt lost in the surrealistic maze of modern life, you're in the market for one of the real-life historical mazes in the British Isles.
Hampton Court has the most famous one. Thousands of visitors have a blast getting lost here every year. Maybe even more fun is the one at Blenheim Palace. Mazes were prominent features in the elaborate 17th and 18th century English formal gardens. It's fun to imagine assignations and aristocratic games of hide and seek among the twists and turns of the high hedges. Mazes are fabricated on the Greek myth of Daedalus's labyrinth to house the Minotaur. I'm wondering if the lords and ladies tried to pass these games off as part of their classical education. The Blenheim Gardens are especially fun, with opportunities beyond the maze for fun and games like the oversized chessboard.
Even I don't need glasses to play this chess game.
And for a simple reminder of the magic of nature, there's always the marvelously peaceful butterfly garden. Also in the Catch Me If You Can category would be the numerous luge rides found throughout the Alps. The thrill of a downhill plunge definitely brings out the kid in you. Built for winter thrills, the luges are adapted to the summer as well and have become year-round favorites. The driver controls the rate of descent through a brake, so cowards can go at a snail's pace while demons go for speed records. By the way, a luge ride is a great way to break up a road trip through the mountains. In Europe's cities, you get a version of the same kind of thrill at the amusement parks. Copenhagen's Tivoli is one of the granddaddies of the parks, dating back to 1843. Originally built outside of the city, it now lies smack in the middle of it. Tivoli is so much more than an amusement park that it's probably not really fair to call it one. Gardens, fountains, dance bands, and a host of cultural events attract around 5 million visitors a year to its 21 acres. The other granddaddy is Vienna's Prater, which first opened in 1766 on a property formerly owned by Emperor Maximilian. The centerpiece of this playground is its famous Ferris wheel. The name comes from the designer George Ferris, who constructed the world's first Ferris wheel for the Chicago International Exhibition in 1892. The Viennese followed 4 years later with this, believe it or not, slightly smaller version of that first wheel. It's like an oversized erector set asking, "Can you top this?" Hey, what's not to love?
It's no secret I like to eat. And I'm convinced that a lot of the fun of any trip, anywhere for anyone, is in sampling the local cuisine. European travel is especially satisfying because Europeans have been so successful in holding on to their regional food traditions.
I can't tell you how many travelers have told me they remember specific meals they've had 20 or 30 years ago on a trip to Europe. The perfect meal in a perfect setting.
All right, cheers.
For some, it's the first slice of real Italian pizza from its birthplace in Naples. Fresh ingredients, perfect dough, and not oozing with an overload of cheese. For others, it's just caught lobster with white truffle sauce on the Riviera. The list goes on. I've found heaven in a crisp salad under sunny Greek skies, in Wiener Schnitzel and sauerkraut to die for in downtown Vienna.
This is one big schnitzel.
And lovingly made gravlax in Stockholm.
Yeah.
You like it? That's nice.
Really, really good.
It's really tender, isn't it?
You can see the endless sacrifices a travel journalist makes in his research.
Darn good.
Molto vicino.
Wonderful. Oh. Very sweet.
Seriously, I'm just hard-pressed to choose among my favorites. But I've got to say, our meal at the renowned restaurant Le Crayère in Reims, in France's Champagne region, has got to be near the top of my list. A different champagne enhanced the already perfect flavors of each course. That's an evening to remember.
You know, this job is tough. Thank you for coming with me to work today, because this is what I have to go through all the time, and sorry to have to subject you to it today.
Now, if you're looking for complete R&R, a breakaway, light on the culture, heavy on play, there's nothing like a beach. The Mediterranean is known for some great ones. The Greek islands have some standouts, like Naxos, which can't be beat for pure peace. Or there's highly touristed Santorini's exotic black sand beach. Back on the continent, Spain's Costa Brava can be a welcome escape from the nearby city bustle of Barcelona. But for me, the hands-down most fun beaches are on the French Riviera. This is not your escape to peace and quiet getaway. It's more like fun at every turn. Sure, the beaches are crowded, but the people watching is tops. It's hard to find a bad meal or a mediocre glass of wine. Water sports and boating opportunities abound. And each community along the Mediterranean charms with a slightly different personality. When the beach loses its appeal, there's always shopping, and of course art, with a plethora of galleries up and down the coast. Near Nice, you'll find the world-famous Picasso Museum. And oh yes, let's not forget the glamour of maybe the world's most famous casino in Monte Carlo. Daytime or nighttime, the Riviera lives up to its reputation as Europe's playground.
Limbering up with a favorite sport, or even a new one, can be a welcome change of pace.
Opportunities abound for improving your game, be it golf or horses. I've taken clay shooting lessons.
Very good, very good.
And sweep him off towards the perch.
And been introduced to falconry. You can paddle away an afternoon, fly like a bird, or race across the water. It's fun to let the kid in us out. And all it takes is paying some attention to what a locale has to offer. Check with the local tourist office or the concierge at your hotel for suggestions, or do some research before you leave for Europe. In this crazy workaday world of today, it's easy to forget the importance of having fun. A trip to Europe offers plenty of opportunities to remedy this. Taking off on flights of fancy, testing physical stamina, discovering something new, polishing a skill, or just lolling in the sun. These are the things that rejuvenate and restore. What a playground is Europe. Here's where the kid in us can have a field day.
You know, some of us never grow up completely, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So to nurture the kid in all of us, sometimes it's appropriate to take a swing at Europe, just for fun. I'm Rudy Maxa. Thanks for joining us.